Well, and
And I
it's so
also have
funny.
lost interest in the politics because if you really look at it, you could tell it's just a story that's playing in her mind because he's doing whatever anybody's doing is they're doing it every day. It's like the same Groundhog Day,
Yup, yup, yup.
you know,
And as long as we keep looking at it and wanting
believe
to
it's
see it,
real.
because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it is, like watching soap operas or something,
Right. Yes.
To me, it's hilarious because it gets more absurd every day.
Oh, no.
It's like, what? They're doing what? They said what? It's just every day, it's just cracking me up. I mean, how ridiculous can we be?
And their two sides are seeing two different. It's the whole course.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And the fact that, all this seems to be happening right now really is because there are many, 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 many people who are waking up. Many, many, many,
I think
many
that's
people.
what it is too. It's a shift. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it seems like things are accelerating, but it's this is a chance for me to look at this, and this is a chance
Right.
for me to look at that. And um the more people become aware of the truth of what they are, the the more the test is, it's like, yeah, you're going to school and you're taking your test in, elementary school for spelling and or math or something, and they give you puzzles that you can figure out. When you're in university and you're getting your PhD in or in not in psychology, PhD in like physics, you're going to have problems that when you were in first grade, you would never even imagine. What the heck is this talking about? But you come to the place where you can know that now, and
Right.
that's why you're given more.
Hmm.
So, that's what we're doing right here is we're just moving on, moving on. So,
Well, I think in every layer, as you go deeper, more shit can come up too.
oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Because I mean, we have this thing we made is um, very multifaceted and just filled.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, it is. And so amazing. We just want to keep watching it, but nope, just just
No,
give it up.
no, because the pain comes in for a reason.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly.
Coming in to say, okay, girl, amp it up.
And the more of it that we have, I mean, really, you can kind of see, oh, I'm being shown more and more ways to practice forgiveness.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so okay. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. All day long.
Yep. 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 And as Amy, when we used to work with Amy, that she would be saying, "I love you, God. Um, please forgive me for forgetting uh, that I have everything and there's nothing to fear. I'm sorry I forgot the truth about myself. Thank you for reminding me of
Right.
who I am." And using actually looking at what it is that I'm sorry for, and forgive me for, not because I did a bad thing, but I forgot about love, and I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I forgot what I am.
Yeah, I forgot what I am. Yeah, yeah. And
We're
that's,
all
as you
love.
had
That's
mentioned
all we
earlier,
are.
it's all about the separation.
Right. Yeah. Where to, okay.
All right, so we are
Marcy
in.
has her hand raised. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Marcy.
Yeah, well, when you were talking about being, I think you mentioned something about being in school,
Uh-huh.
in whatever situation, and my mind jumped to the one of the dreams I had, which maybe you've had it in some form or another, but I'm naked, I'm in school, and I have to take a test I haven't studied for. And that's kind of like you wake up and go, that was really weird. But like you were saying, it's like everything is seeming to get so extreme. And maybe it's always been extreme, but it hasn't been exposed.
Not polarized like this.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. But yeah, I do also share that you have got to be kidding me moments. This
Right,
can't even be. You're not, don't push it this far.
right.
But that's
yeah.
what the ego wants to do. I gotta distract them.
Well, and the thing is, we have these big characters that are being presented to us now, big characters that are doing outrageous things, like
Right,
Hitler. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
honestly, we're being given several examples of big characters that are are big and crazy like that, and it's for a reason. It's because that's I'm a big character that's crazy. So, I need I need to look at that. Uh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we are reading Never Forget to Laugh, Personal Recollections of Bill Thetford, co-scribe of A Course in Miracles, and this is by Carol Howe. And Carol is a lovely lady who I guess somebody's writing, Alan Ishak is writing a biography of her right now. So we will have a biography of Carol Howe, which will be very interesting, as she's had a life too, very interesting. Um, anywho, do you want me to read?
sure.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go
Turns,
back.
the three of us, so that way we won't like get arrested. And yeah, we'll take turns. You
Okay.
go, Lynn.
Okay. So I'm going to go back and read this thing that Francis Vaughn spoke about Bill and acceptance. Oh, this is good. Um, One of Bill's gifts was a presence that enabled people to grow. He was very accepting. He never tried to impose his own views on anybody. I would describe his way of being as an absence of personality noise. He created a safe place for people to be who they were. He was definitely very attentive to whomever he was with. It was as though he didn't need to take up any room. By making a space for you to fill up, he made you feel that you could just be who you are. When I talked to Bill, I felt, and as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, how am I not doing that? Okay. I'm looking at all the ways that I'm not being this person, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So when I talked to Bill, I felt he really listened and could understand what I had to say. That was one of the nicest things about him. He wasn't full of his own agenda or ideas about the way things should be. He provided a spaciousness and a quality of listening that was very deep. I felt he gave loving, non-interfering attention to everyone. That is a great gift that can be very healing. And yeah, that is amazing. Honestly, as much as it may not seem like it, this is what I aspire to every day. I just want to be a place where people can come and just be who they are without me interfering or having opinions. I got work to do. So anyway, so
Singing
Carol,
to the choir.
yeah. So Carol continues. These observations include several critically important ideas. First, we all know individuals who take up a great deal of psychic space, who seem to take all the air out of a room, who dominate with I, me, and mine. It's all about me. No one warms to them, that person, and yet we all believe that we require some degree of self-promotion to be happy, secure, and prosperous. However, if you ask someone to elaborate on how that happens, you will not get a valid answer. We have fallen into the trap of believing that taking up space is good and necessary, competing for it through attempts to be special. The philosopher Douglas Harding, who we all love, often speaks of disappearing in favor of the other person. If I think Douglas Harding is the one who did The Headless Way. Another way of stating Bill's capacity for open acceptance. It seems a paradox that the more wholeheartedly present we are for others, the more we disappear, the more everyone gains. This contradicts our earliest programming of how to, quote, stake out our territory, end quote. If we gathered up all the I, me, and mine thought patterns and rolled them up to almost nothing, figuratively speaking, our happiness would increase. Focusing on the other rather than self is a major component of forgiveness. One caution: taking up no space does not mean withholding, hiding, or defending. Keeping things bottled up for fear of being unacceptable is hardly a no space situation. Feeling inferior with the need to hide can result in one's being an irritable, high maintenance person indeed. So I'm just going to stop right there because I think maybe someone would want to say something about what she's talking about, the difference between this open, wholehearted person and the majority of us who are wanting to be seen.
Yeah, the way I see Bill, now this is true authenticity, because really nobody knows anything. And when you go to like Rupert Spira, if you ask him a question, I've noticed that he just gets quiet because he waits. And I'm quite sure he must get quiet because he knows the first thought isn't going to be the one he wants. So what Bill did was he stopped, he paused, and he became an empathic, and like, nonviolent communication. Nonviolent communication is listening, and sometimes it's repeating what somebody says. So Bill had a natural inclination, being a psychologist and then being, you know, one of the channels really for this book, to make people, it's the essence that makes people feel safe. It's the energy. So I would say that my goal is to read this. I have the book. I'm going to read this because I want to say that Carol is brilliant too. We're all being completely channeled. There's no separate self. So, but her brain, whatever it is, her intellect is the way she's describing this is just so beautiful. And it's also very deep, because disappearing in favor of the other person. Now, a couple weeks ago, I just heard the voice within say, focus on others. And what I got from that was focus on others, listening to them. Because really, ego speaks first and it speaks loud and it can't wait to tell you a story, so it'll prop itself up once again. But when I'm in the right mind, I don't have an identity. The only identity that you could say I have is that, I'm the same as everyone else. I'm just this space. And there's no personality and there's no needs, none of it. So ego's not going to like this. That's the problem, because ego doesn't like any of this because it needs to stay validated. And my job now is to look at this and say, look, you know, do I accept everybody? No. Do I accept all things as they are? No. These are my lessons, because the lesson always is be here now. And it's talking about here-ness because there's no person. So when we focus, there's something that I think that I'm getting from continuing to play this character and listen to her. And I actually believe I'm going to come up with something that's worthy of me. Well, there's nothing in the ego thought system that's worthy of the Son of God. So who am I going to be loyal to? God or the ego? It's got to be God. The ego is the thought system. So the habit is going to be breaking with just consistency. I don't mean like, vigilance and consistency to the best of my ability. That's all. Anybody else? Marcy?
I guess you know what I get in my own way because sometimes I'm like, well, there is no God. you know, but that's when I'm just pushing love away. It doesn't matter what you call it. I know there is something that happens when I'm in that space of openness. So it doesn't matter to me what it's called, but if I call it God, I get into trouble
Right.
because of
Well,
my association with that.
and because it's you're projecting God as being something outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You're both very clear.
yeah,
Wonderful.
So it's the same as saying there is no Marcy. I'm saying there is no God. You know,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Well,
and
it's
Well,
like saying I asked the Holy Spirit. Who asked the Holy Spirit? Who
yeah,
asked?
right,
I mean,
right.
who is really asking the Holy Spirit? A voice that's not real.
Yeah. I mean, I feel ridiculous when I'm talking to Keith and I say I, and I'm like, oh God, it's not the I. And he's like, knock it off. Don't worry about the English language. You know, we don't have to reinvent the English language for this.
yeah. Keith is really down to earth and very realistic, and I appreciate that so much. It's a different kind of teacher, right? Different
Yeah.
kind of guru now that we have these people like Hakeem and Keith and Luigi and people that are you know really connecting to their audience because they're human. They have that sameness that we can connect to, and so I love it. I love it, and you know it's just so sweet to see them popping up on my page. Oh my
This
gosh.
thing takes a while for one big reason. I mean, we're talking about a whole thought system, and there's only one sun. So the ego is the one that's in a rush. You know, we could just stay like this, like you said, Lynn. I need do nothing but not interfere.
Yeah, because that's immediate. That isn't that what Jesus says? Infinite patience brings immediate results.
Yes.
That's exactly what happens. You get immediate results. The instant that you get in that place,
Right.
uh, everything seems to just go. And that's I have had such tremendous uh I guess confirmations over and over throughout my life
Yeah.
that this was the right path. I was doing the right thing, that I was looking in the right place. I and sometimes we forget how it feels to be fulfilled in our thinking, because we're always searching, 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 and never finding, finding, finding. But when we stop the searching and just let it be, then it comes to us because it's there. It's been running away. We've been chasing it. It's we're pushing it away. It's like when you put opposite sides or the same side of the magnet together, it pushes away, and when you stop and just let it go, the magnet flips around and boom, everything works. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just saw it in my mind, how that works. So yeah, so just the the give up the fight, because there's nothing is opposing us except our own thinking. All right. So this is what Carol is saying here. Um, we have to be honest about what we're thinking and not hide it from ourselves. And definitely, I mean, it's so easy to uh, think that, if I'm supposed to be a teacher of God, I'm supposed to be thinking this way and that way. I'm not supposed to get upset about this thing or that thing. All these ideas that we have will tend to make us hide our real feelings and our real thoughts. But if we give up the hiding and just be open and honest, then we can actually see how we are all the same, and that nothing is special about my my discomfort. Sharon, go ahead. Hey, Lori. Good to see you.
Hi, Lori. Where's Lori? She's
Hi, hi, you guys.
okay. It's kind of like, it's important to me that I just be able to be as honest as I can. And that would mean that I feel that every saying, like you're your own worst enemy, we are. I am. Because who else could it be? So it's always me. And it's interesting because I don't know how this happened, but I have lost interest in politics. I don't watch it right now, and I get no interest whatsoever. I don't even get anger. I just get nothing. So the next lesson is this whatever this is. They said histamine. So when I look at this stuff, I really just want to listen or be the truth. Because I had an unconscious thing that I still wanted Sharon to have a good life here. I wanted this awakening to pay off. That I'd be this loving ego, and I would have everything, everybody, and my work that I did with it would be all for good. And it's all coming out now. That's what I wanted. I wanted as a small I. But if I am looking to be the I that we all are, I'm the same as everybody else. And we're not in a rush because we don't even have to become what we are. We already are what we are. So it's like these lessons today are really, really good because it's seeing that I can only play with myself. I can only upset myself. And I can realize that the ego has no clue. So it whispers things in my ear sometimes and I believe it. So what? But then I learn the lesson. And the lesson always is be here now. Like, who's really asking the Holy Spirit? If it's all spirit, then who's asking? And even that, I mean, it's a good exercise, but it's not necessarily the most honest because there is no Holy Spirit. We are the Holy Spirit, and the voice for God just knows, has a memory of God, but it's never been separate because that's who fell asleep, really, the Spirit. And the Holy Spirit, the wholeness that woke up, was waking the sonship up. And it seemingly looks like it's going rather slow, and these politics are happening, and people are in trouble, and all this drama. But I think the essence of this whole thing is we're going through a mass awakening. And how would we know? Like I was listening to Eckhart Tolle say, the ego, the reason you hear it more is because of he was talking about the noise. Like, it's just so noisy. But spirit is doing its work and awakening is happening. So, it's interesting because you look at flowers and that's you too. The sand is you. Everything is you. There's just one you. So it's coming back to the truth and being realistic that the ego doesn't want to hear that because specialist is the ego. So it's just a matter of getting more and more honest, picking yourself out of the dirt, brushing yourself off and realizing that it's all good, everything that ever happened to you. Anyway, over to whoever wants it.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. That's it exactly. It is a matter of perspective and what is it that I choose to see. So let's move on. Does somebody want to read?
I can read again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So we're at where are we?
A second
A
important
second?
aspect. Okay.
A second important aspect of the acceptance Bill demonstrated was his capacity to listen fully, to give another his undivided attention, regardless of the subject matter. This is healing for both parties. The one being listened to feels completely and unconditionally accepted, and it quiets the mind of the listener, bringing both into the present moment, the only time a change of mind can occur. Undivided attention also clears the mind enough so that guidance or intuition about what to do or how to change perspective becomes possible. Counterintuitively, taking up no space incurs no sacrifice whatsoever. ACIM understanding that we believe this change of outlook is dangerous states, therefore, the period of overlap is apt to be one in which the teacher of God feels called upon to sacrifice his own best interest on behalf of truth. He has not realized as yet how wholly impossible such a demand would be. He can learn this only as he actually does give up the valueless ego I can't say proclamation, promotion, sorry. Through this, he learns that where he anticipated grief, he finds a happy lightheartedness instead. Where he thought something was asked of him, he finds a gift bestowed on him. Deeply listening to others is an act of love. Where we think that genuinely deferring to others will bring us loneliness and unhappiness, instead we find ourselves included and revered. The following passages from the Your text indicate some of Bill's errors that he corrected through deep listening and engaging with others. Tell Bill the reason am I missing something or no? Tell Bill is the first sentence there.
Yeah, because this is from the text.
Oh, okay. Tell Bill the reason he was so strange yesterday is because he allowed himself a number of fear-producing attitudes. They were fleeting enough to be more will of the wisps than serious will errors, but unless he watches this kind of thing, he will find the notes fearful, and knowing him well will distantiate. Don't know that word. In short, he would keep the notes in an intellectual, emotional distance inappropriately. What did I do here? I've lost my. Okay. You, Bill, have not made consistent efforts to change your mind except through applying old habit patterns to new ideas. But you have learned, and learned it better than Helen, that your mind gains control over itself when you direct it genuinely toward perceiving someone else truly. Your lack of vitality is due to your former marked effort at solving your needless depression and anxiety through disinterest. Because your ego was protected by this unfortunate negative attribute, you are afraid to abandon it. When you have given up this voluntary dispiriting, you have already seen how your mind can focus and rise above fatigue and heal, but you are not sufficiently vigilant against the demands of your ego that you disengage yourself. Let me finish this sentence. Oh, I had a comment. Can I make a comment while I'm in the middle of reading?
Absolutely. I expect you to. If something
Okay.
comes up, say it. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was thinking, you invited me numerous times, Lynn, to be on Gather, and I know there was resistance, and I had the same thing with a friend of mine. She would invite me to parties. Well, now we're like artists working together and kind of holding each other up with, the art world and stuff. But I think it was obviously it was my ego not wanting to come here because I just felt so lost. I didn't feel like I could be here. Like I wasn't worthy of having the relationship with people in the group. Not even having something, whatever quality it is I thought I had, to just go find some Ken tapes that I haven't heard on the radio. So it's interesting to me how long I pushed everybody away and pushed things that were good for me away.
Oh, I love, like, can I share too with you?
Oh, please.
I just love what you shared, Marcy, because I feel like I've always been in the groups, but the unworthiness had the harshness of the ego saying, That's not you, Sharon. You feel worthy. And that's the ego too. So
Yeah.
believing that I didn't fit in, that I'm not as smart as other people, that I never really sat and read the book like everybody else. That's just another story because I have read it, um, mainly in classes. And as time goes on, I mean, I understand it, but I also feel the unworthiness for this mind runs very deep. Like, how could I be God? Come on. How could I be the Son of God? How could I be Jesus? So I think that that was beautiful what you shared, Marcy. It was so
Thank you.
beautiful because I would say ditto for me. I felt that in Awakening Together. I did feel like I didn't feel that I wasn't good enough. I just wasn't sure why I didn't fit in because I usually have an easy time meeting people. But again, I feel in that group, Spirit was moving me back to here because, of course, Spirit knows the script. So, that's what happens. And now I don't have that. But, it is guilt. And behind the guilt is the unworthiness. Yeah. So thanks, Marcy. That was wonderful.
Yeah, and actually understanding why I'm reluctant to do the thing that's healthy for me. I mean, because it feels so much more comfortable to feel. I mean, I'm thinking I want to go on a diet, and because I've really gained a lot of weight since I've been ill, and I'm out of shape. I don't feel as comfortable in my body. So, that's bullshit because right now sitting here, I feel fine. It's not till I look in a mirror or see a picture of myself that I say, "Whoa, that don't look like me." Anyway, so
It's
so
not you. It's not you.
I know it's not. I don't even feel like that. I mean, honestly, I feel like, I feel just, perfectly fine. Like, I'm good. And so I'm always shocked when I see those pictures and see myself in the mirror. I'm like, whoa, what happened here? Anyway, so um, this idea that uh, really the only thing that is really going to bring me actual joy is to join with my brothers in this sonship, to recognize my place among the children of God, to be the son of God. If I'm not feeling wholly joyous, it's because I've reacted with a lack of love to one of God's creations, and it's that one I'm looking at in the mirror that's saying, "Whoa, no." But to in order to change that, what would I have to do? Stop eating things I like, start exercising, working, doing things that are hard to do, making myself feel uncomfortable. I have all these excuses and stories about what bad thing could happen, or what thing would be hard for to try to make that picture or that face in the mirror look more like what I want myself to look like. Uh, and it is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. If I feel like exercising, I will. Um, I want to be strong. I like to walk. I like to be, out in nature. So, if it becomes difficult for me to do that, I'm going to want to change or do something about it. And then I'll be willing to work on it. But um, the only thing that can really o- uh, only let's see, only God's what does it say? Anyway, only being with God can make me joyful. God's will for me is perfect happiness. And so, uh, all these other things that, I think would keep me from doing that. And in fact, for an example, let's see, yesterday morning, yeah, I think it was, um, I woke up and I was aching. My body was aching. When you wake up and your body already hurts. And I was going through a lot of because of uh, allergies, that histamine thing, it really gets your joints tightening up and all that kind of business. I'm just talking in general, the body. And feeling that way, I was like, oh, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go in to gather. I don't want to do these programs. I don't want to, I'm on all this this thought about in the future, like next, I'm going to have to get up and be uncomfortable. In the future, this bad thing's going to happen to me. So I have all these ideas of reasons why not to do this. And I push through it, and I get up and I come in here and I turn things on, and then I start, chatting with and being connected to. Uh, all the people here and my friends and people that I love. And within, like, immediately, I'm not noticing that discomfort anymore because I'm joining with my brothers in reality, in truth. And I'm not dealing with the body and the story and the this happened or that happened kind of mode. I'm in the this now is happening and this is perfect. And so that's how I cope with anything. We talk about when I broke my shoulder, and I that was that was quite an adventure because I spent the entire night in the Denver airport with a broken shoulder and dealing, with, trying to, you know, be comfortable, be safe, whatever. My whole thinking was pretty crazy because I was, experiencing this painful situation. Um, but throughout that whole time, I also had holy encounters with different people, people who came to help me, people who wanted to, do things for me, talk to me, whatever. I had a lot of holy encounters with people, and every single time, that would bring me out of that painful place and into a place of joy. So, where people are thinking, oh, you poor thing, you had a terrible time. Excuse me, I'm looking at it and saying, wow, this was amazing. This was amazing to be in this, airport with all these, wonderful people who were, I mean, people did things, I was standing in line because I was still trying to check in with this broken shoulder, standing in line with my suitcase. A guy went over and got a chair, like a rolling chair, and brought it over and put my suitcase on it and helped me to push to get up there. Like people were going out of their way to help me and to be kind to me. And, that was to me, it was like angels everywhere, just, coming to help. And but that's that's what I don't know, that's what I do. When I'm feeling bad, I want to join with my brother. When I'm feeling hurt, I want to connect because that is the only way that I can actually um, experience what I am. Marcy, please go ahead. I didn't see you had your hand up, honey.
Oh, that's okay. No, I was thinking about that unworthiness feeling. And I think it's the first lesson I ever remembered is lesson 93. You think you're the home of evil, darkness, and sin. And I can't quote it exactly because I don't know if anybody else can fill in the rest of it. You think that if
That
someone
if you saw
something about,
what you really were, you'd rush to death at your own hand.
well, yeah, that one, but the one where the person is going to recoil, somebody else is going to recoil from you as if from a poisonous snake.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And what is lesson 93 telling us? Because what's the title of lesson
Isn't that
93?
light, joy, and peace abide in
Light
me?
and peace and joy abide in me.
Where is the ego? Like the ego is just a box in our head. Is that, what is, well, I guess the ego wants to know what the ego is, and the ego doesn't exist. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
no, the ego is just the thought system. The
Right.
all the ego is I see it like a waiter that's bringing me a menu and saying pick what you want from here and bringing me what I ask for. So the ego is a thought system, and so the decision maker looks at the thoughts and says, is this a thought that God would have me think, or is this a thought that is going to hurt me? And so the thoughts are being presented to us. The thought that says this is bad, uh, this hurts, I'm angry, I'm afraid. We connect ourselves to it by saying I am this and I am that. Um, but all it is, it's just like we talk about, it's just a movie on a screen. And I can watch the movie and I can decide, how much of it I want to believe is me. But none of it is me. It's just being presented to me. It's being shown to me. And I'm deciding, do I want to hold on to it or not? So it's not trying to do anything. It's just presenting itself. Here I am. And it's like we talk about the amusement park. We go to the amusement park and we walk around and we're presented with, you could go on the roller coaster, you could go on the the teacups or the tilt-a-whirl or this or that, and we choose which one we want to go on. And if we hate the roller coaster, but we still go on it, then we're going to choose to be unhappy because we're being scared shitless on the roller coaster. But it's every single bit of it. It's just being shown to me, and I'm choosing which of it to take and which of it to believe and which of it to listen to and which of it to react to. Marcy, yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I had to laugh because I have a movie night opportunity for anybody who wants to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Being John Malkovich.
I think I saw it years ago.
I love
So you,
that
you need
movie.
to see it again, Sharon.
Okay, because it's all
We could
about,
even have a movie night and watch it at the same time.
yeah,
Because you're
I mean, we could watch it and, go back and forth. David Hoffmeister does something with the Holy Spirit, but I never got into it.
well, there's a scene towards the end of the movie, and I don't think it'll ruin the movie if I tell you, but
I
I
think I
think
saw it. I know I saw because it
oh,
said,
oh I think he goes into a restaurant and he is everything, every character in the restaurant, including what's on the menu. I mean, that was like the most amazing, very helpful thing that I saw was that
yeah, I'm looking it
everything
up.
is the projection of me
Yeah, and then
everywhere.
even the
That's
fish on the plate.
the fish on the plate, the piano singer, the piano player, everybody, the waiter.
Okay, what's it called again? The movie?
Being, Being,
Being?
John Malkovich. He's an actor.
Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my friend's
Hysterical.
coming over. She's coming over like around 2, so we can watch this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
wait,
It's
what's
well
it
worth
on?
seeing.
What's it on?
It's a little weird in the beginning, but
Yeah,
yeah.
well, to get to the premise where everybody's being John Malkovich, you have to
Yeah.
have some kind of crazy
Yes,
explanation.
you do.
I wonder if I
But
could, I mean, it's only 3.99. I don't know if I did watch it. I think I
it's
did.
a
Who's the star in it?
John Malkovich.
No,
John Cusack
right, right.
is the
Oh,
puppet maker because it's the
yeah.
guy who's the main character actually is uh makes puppets, right?
I thought he was, oh, is John Malkovich not in the movie?
Oh no, John Malkovich is in the movie, but he's only when they're being John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But it's John Cusack, I
Okay.
believe, who's
That's who it is. Yeah,
the main
Okay.
character
right.
finds the
Mm,
crazy place where all this
yeah.
is happening. So yeah, yeah, yeah. You talk about, yeah, that's a great,
Well,
we
I would
should
like
do
to
that.
see like I am the water, like, but my mind's still so much in me that, it was interesting. I had this shift and the awareness and the aliveness is here, but yet the ego seems to still be the force in front. I guess it is because it's still there, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, you're
it's,
talking to us, aren't you?
yeah, yeah. The thing is, the ego itself, like, there was a guy I listened to, Anthony Gold. He said, you cannot stop judging unless you have no ego. And that doesn't happen. He said, but it's not you. When it judges, it's not you. And that's what I got to get.
Yeah, it's not what you are at all.
Right. It's not me. Oh my.
Can we have a movie night on here?
I think we could, yeah. And
I think that
uh,
would be so fun, Lynn.
Yeah.
Really
because, yeah,
fun.
absolutely, I can get movies and play them on here.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, I'll pay for them too. Like, I mean, it's like you have to buy it, so I can, pay. I just looked;
Yeah.
it's only $3.99. Because here's the thing: when you watch it with a group, it's the one mind watching it.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting what you'll learn. Because when the one mind this is why I like groups. But it's always been me anyway. When I didn't like a group, it's because I didn't feel worthy. It had to be that.
Yeah.
I think.
I used to do movie nights here. So I would be in class, the Course in Miracles class in person. And then
Mhm.
people would come over to my house and we'd stay up late and watch movies and talk about them. It was
Oh,
really
that's
fun,
wonderful. Yeah,
really
all of
good
that.
time.
It's interesting. This guy said that his name's Anthony Gold, and I really love his work. He was a student at Ken Wapnick's too, and he said the Course in Miracles is still a story. He said everything here is a story. Nothing is really here. So we all know that, but I have to reiterate it because you can fall in love with a book and think that's God right here in this book. But we are God. We're God's son. And all we have to do is say, I give up. I give up. I'm not fighting this. I mean, what the hell? Now it's itching my body, this damn nervous system.
Because you're getting closer to
Yeah, I might be getting closer to bump into the little
you're
sucker.
getting closer to the love. So things
Yeah, that's a
start
good
happening.
point. Yeah, probably. Hi,
Yeah.
Deb. I'm here and not here. Never not here is really what I should say.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing movie night. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to put the movies on, but
You
Well,
know, I could do it. In fact, we could do it. I don't think we have anything planned for tonight. Um, if you wanted to do that tonight,
why don't we
I don't
do
know where
that?
I
We
don't
could
know
do
where I'm supposed to be, but what time is that?
that's at
7.
7 o'clock Eastern time here at
So
the
that's
same.
Now the
six.
problem is it would have to we'd be doing this from 7
It's
to
a 2 hour movie, 1 hour and 52 minutes. I'm
yeah,
looking
so
at it
Yeah.
right
two
now.
hours. But I could do that.
I
And if
think I could do that. I don't know where else I'd be
and
supposed
you'll get it on Amazon, then I'll just send you
No, I can do it right here off of YouTube. I don't have to do it on Amazon.
oh, you don't, but how much is it?
Let's see, buy or rent. Let's see. Here's one. It looks like it's just free. Wait, okay. Full movie with English subtitles.
And Lori just wrote, I would love a movie night. I can't join tonight, but if you have movie nights, other times I'd love to come. Yeah, we'll let you know, Lori. You know, the thing is, I think a movie night is going to relax us.
Yeah.
If you want to wait until next week, because maybe Lori can do it next week. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, or yeah, what if we did a movie night, at least start with once a month, or it might be every week or every 2 weeks,
yeah,
it
I
doesn't have
love
to be
that.
every week, but it would be nice to
Yeah.
have people come together and think of movies that remind them of the Course in Miracles and why, and you
Well, and
know,
it doesn't have to be in the
Lori's
evening
got one.
either.
All right,
it
we
doesn't
could
have to be what?
It doesn't have to be in the evening
Right.
because I
no,
know
we could
some of
do it.
y'all.
Yeah, it would
Right.
be great during the day, Lynn. It would be great during the day. Now, here's the thing. There's two movies that to me remind me of the course. One is Inside Out 1 and Inside
Yeah.
Out 2. Because all that is all our emotions. And that's all we're doing all day long. It's just trying
Yeah,
to just
I've
like,
never seen either one of them. I want to see
oh,
those.
they're
They're pretty
right.
cute.
And then the other, believe it or not, Wicked is singing the songs they're singing. Because let's face it, consciousness made this movie, right? Because we're consciousness. So this movie, Wicked, he's singing, it's just life, it means nothing. Like if you go with his lyrics, these songs, he's basically saying everything here is meaningless. And it is. And that's something really hard if you still have an ego, because you want it to mean something. And
Oh,
the
I've got a couple, but the end of Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke as the banker makes this incredible speech that is like just popped up out of the course. And then there's a Alfred Hitchcock thing about a court case where the characters flip flop around. So somebody who was the criminal is the judge and the da 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 da. So that's another amazing one.
Oh man, have you seen Dark City?
I didn't see that, no.
yeah, what's that about?
You know what? I'm going to go